Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to the Chan Chan. It's your boy Kit coming at you live with another video. Hi, I'm back for a little bit, and I'm here to tell you about my delivery story. So, it started off a week from today. I went to work per usual. I was having some regular contractions, and it wasn't until about like 12:45 that my contractions were getting really, really close, and I sent some messages to my husband who was like, it might not be it. They might just send us home. Like it might not be time yet. So I'm like, okay, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. And then my water broke while I was at work. So I call my husband and say like, hey, it's time. My water broke, and they're like, oh, fuck. And so they drove down because their work was like a couple minutes away from my work. Drove down, picked me up, sitting on a tarp. I held things together until we got in the truck. And once we're driving to the hospital, I'm just screaming and crying, and just more fluids are coming out of me. And we get to the hospital, pull in an emergency. I'm like, I can't move without more fluids coming out of me. I'm just crying. I'm in pain. I don't want to be there. Um, they wheel me on a wheelchair, get me in. My husband parks the truck, and I'm just like waiting for him, and I'm like, I want them to be here with me because I'm like, this is a lot. They catch up with us. We race to the delivery floor. We get to triage, and that's when they realize I'm about like 6, 7 centimeters dilated, and they're trying to ask me all these questions, and I'm like, I can't answer these questions at this moment. And we got there about like to triage like 1:28 p.m. And they realized immediately that they needed to move me from triage to delivery because it looked like it was about time. So they moved me to delivery, and they were getting me ready to get the epidural when I started to like feel like I needed to start pushing. So they're like, well, we can't give you the epidural now. It's happening. We're far too gone to do anything about it. So they're basically trying to make sure I'm pushing and I'm breathing with no epidural, which was fun. I'm screaming. I'm having nurses and doctors like get in my face, yelling at me to push, to breathe, to not push my legs forward. It got to the point where I heard them say something about placenta rupture. So during delivery, there was like a 25% a rupture of the placenta because he wasn't getting any oxygen for a couple minutes, which was kind of scary. They had to put oxygen on me to get me to keep going. And then finally, after like a couple more pushes and me screaming and whatnot, we got him out with via suction because he was not coming up the out like without that because it was either that or doing a C-section, and it was too far at that point for me not to like he was there basically. The cord was wrapped around his shoulder with one loop. And I lost about like 30% of my blood. Uh I lost a lot of blood. It was kind of very serious. And I tore really, really bad. I'm still healing from that as well as everything else. Uh my little man's fingers and feetsies were a little purple when he came out, but he was crying, breathing, he was healthy. He was born at 2:02, so if you think about that, I went into the triage at 1:28, and then he was born at 2:02, so not a long labor. It was really fast. And then after that, they had to stitch me up, which took like an hour, and I was just ugh about all of that. By the time they had finished stitching me, my parents had finally arrived. And they were like they felt so bad that they weren't there for the delivery, and I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of glad you weren't, to see how scary it was, because my mom was like not about to leave my side after that, and my husband had to go back to my work to pick up my car to drop it off at their work because They didn't want to leave it unattended, because their work has like a gated lock area and mine doesn't. And it's probably a lot better than just having it sit at my work. So there was that. We were then moved from the delivery to recovery. I was so out of it with being moved that I was just like barely coherent due to the blood loss. A nurse gave me some like apple juice and like pretzels to help me like feel better because I hadn't even eaten really anything that day. I had had like an orange and a banana, and that was all I had up until that point. So I was just like, yeah. Um, then of course, we they do a bunch of like tests and blood work, making sure everything's fine with me, baby. But everything was fine between us. They decided to keep us a couple days, mostly because of me being a fall risk and losing a lot of blood, and that was real scary. I almost died. But by Friday of last week, we were released and brought home. So we've been home ever since, and officially as of today at 2:02 p.m., my little man will be officially a week old. And we have a tour at my work tomorrow to look around, and then Friday we have his checkup to see how he's doing, get his vaccines and everything. And then I already have my appointment set up for my 6 weeks follow-up postpartum. It was quite an adventure, I'm going to say. I don't think I would want to do that again. I don't know if little man here is going to be an only child or not, but my God, that was the scariest thing to ever happen to me. And I know it scared my husband because they were like going, it was scary. There was a lot of blood everywhere, and yeah. So that's my little tale. I figure I share it with you guys. I don't know when the next time I'm going to make another video is. But right now I'm just watching little man. He's sleeping on my lap as I'm rocking back and forth on my couch because he likes that. Probably will give him a bath in a little bit. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'll see you when I see you. Bye!